Welcome back to Facts and Fictions, the Cozy Book Club podcast where we talk about the books we're reading and the thoughts we have on them. My name's Morgan.
My name's Desiree, and this week we're doing an Overdue for a Chat episode, just catching up on things that didn't come up in other episodes. So
A lot to cover this week too. I'm excited.
We do. Mm-hmm. How was your week?
It was a week. There's no great, exciting high points to really cover on, but just a nice little grind of a week.
That's how I feel too. I feel like it was a week. I'm very tired. And if we're going off of tropes, my trope of the week would be dual timelines, because I feel like at work I'm extremely just busy and crazy, and then I come home and I just try to be as chill as possible. So I feel like I'm just living two different lives.
I feel like that lines up with mine. I said grumpy sunshine, except they're both me. It's been a lot of highs and lows this week.
We're very in line on that.
We are.
So, well, interesting. Did you have a high and low or rose and thorn?
So my rose this week was last weekend. We got all of our stuff for our garden, not all of it, a lot of the stuff for the garden, new plants, new soil, all the works. I also found a garden arch for $11 on clearance, which I've always wanted one. Perfect. So that was definitely my rose. Spending a lot of money on garden supplies. The thorn was spending a lot of money. We got our roof replaced last weekend and just get that invoice off. Some of those annoying things you have to do. No one wants to spend money on that, but
that's a really good thorn. For your new arch, are you going to do a climbing plant or anything on it?
I am. Nothing beautiful. I'm doing cucumbers. I like to grow cucumber every year, and it climbs so well. I was thinking of using it for a climbing rose, but like our growing season just isn't long enough for me to, I don't know. I'm just going to use it for the practical purpose.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My rose was the opening weekend for the farmer's market, the outdoor portion of it. I'm excited. I love going to that. Depending on the weekend, I like the Saturdays are really busy, which is a vibe, but then also Sundays are a little quieter, which is nice to have the option. And then my thorn is I just feel really tired.
We always record on Sundays, and I feel like sometimes it's like I feel renewed and rejuvenated, and other Sundays.
We've been whacked down all week.
Just sleepy.
But I am reading a really cute book right now. I'm reading my first ever Japanese healing fiction book, which I don't know if you've ever been introduced to that genre before. But I recently have on Bookstagram. I've seen a lot of people posting recommendations for Japanese healing fiction. It's supposed to be just good for your soul type of book.
So nice.
The one I'm reading right now is one that's highly recommended. It's called Sweet Bean Paste by Durian Sukegawa. And it's translated from Japanese, and I'm about halfway through, and they're typically kind of shorter. So I'm enjoying that read. Are you reading anything right now?
I started Year of Magical Thinking a couple weeks ago. It's one of those brief books. So right now I'm at a pause. So I was going to start Yesteryear today and then jump back into Year of Magical Thinking, but I didn't get too far, but I was just like, you've got to be in the right headspace for a grief book. And so far I'm just waiting to get into that vibe. But I am excited to start Yesteryear. I was going to start that last night, but I had a later night than I thought I was going to. So I'm going to start today instead. But I was hoping I'd have something to say about it this morning.
I am eager to hear your thoughts on Yesteryear. I feel like, because it is topping the charts right now. And so I feel like there's a lot of online discourse.
I've seen like both extremes.
Extremes.
So I know we haven't talked about it yet. We'll have to save it for the pod. But I am excited, well, first of all, to see what I think, and then to see which end, or if you're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But I've seen such extremes, and it's kind of surprising to me because it was so hyped. I thought there's going to be more love for it.
Yeah. Are you watching anything or anything coming up that you're excited about reading or
watching? It's always just short form content. I'm not big on shows or movies. I wish I were. Like,
it always whenever we talk about this, it always surprises me because I don't know. I just feel like I picture you enjoying movies and stuff, but
like I'm really looking forward to Remarkably Bright Creatures to come out. If there's a movie I'm hyped for, I'm excited to watch that one movie. But my husband, he loves, every night he chooses a new movie basically. And like, he doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't know if he's going to like it, dislike it. And for me, if I'm watching a movie and then I don't like it, I just wasted 3 hours or however long, 2 hours. My brain's a little broken where I really have trouble just sitting and paying attention to something.
And you feel like if you don't enjoy something, or you have thoughts about like wasting your time, like
that time is
feeling
gone
guilty
forever. And circling back with all this, like the grief stuff past year, it's just like my time I've been very weird about, which I'm trying not to be. because everyone's like, you got your set amount of time. Everyone wastes time, it's fine. But my brain's just like a little funny about certain things. And like movies are a big one where I'm like, I don't want to watch it if I don't know for sure I'm going to like it. I haven't been looking forward to it.
I can see that because I'm very particular about wasting time. And Jake always comment, I have a very hard time just chilling. What does that mean? I don't. And Jake always says like, resting is productive. Yeah. And I'm like, but what am I producing? No,
the end product.
So I feel like I love watching movies, but I take the time to be very particular about the ones that I'm watching. So the ones that I do end up watching, I typically always enjoy because I've done the search on it. But
one thing I do want to watch actually though is Margot Has Money Problems. Have you seen anything about that?
That's on my list of to watch.
So that's like the one I haven't started. That's a show, right? I haven't watched a show all the way through. I don't know the last time, but that's one I think I'm going to.
Because you love Elle Fanning.
I do love Elle Fanning. Yeah, the Fanning sisters, I just think are amazing.
I want to say she's gotten pretty rave reviews on her acting in the movie or in the series. So
I've only seen good things. That's on my list.
That's on my list as well. We're aligned.
We are.
There is a book that I keep seeing everywhere. It's called This Story Might Save Your Life by Tiffany Crum. And I keep seeing people talk about how it's a really great book to listen to on audio because it's immersive. Oh. It's part of the book is about podcast hosts. And I think audio, it sounds like you're listening to a podcast. Oh, so I don't know. Cool. I thought that was kind of interesting. That's really cool. Crossover with the pod. So I plan on reading that next, I believe. And then as far as stuff I'm watching or listening to right now, I'm really enjoying and savoring the last season of Hacks. It makes me laugh so much. Jake and I both crack up at it, and I'm really sad that it's last season. So every episode, we're just sitting down and making sure we're really paying attention because we're just going to miss it so much.
I love that.
And then as far as I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff, and right now I just have a ritual of every morning I'm listening to the morning announcements by Betches. And if you struggle with wanting to make sure you're feeling up to date, but you don't want to spend hours and stuff doing so, that's a really great 10-minute morning podcast that she does every single day. So I find that helpful.
It's awesome. When we were at Independent Bookstore Day last Saturday, we went to Atlas in downtown Moline. I picked up Cats People, which I had never heard of. And ever since I got it, I keep seeing it on TikTok now.
Really?
Which I'm like, kind of weird. I'm excited to read it. That one is about a stray cat in Brooklyn that brings 5 strangers together. Basically, they all love this cat, and their love of the cat, I guess, creates different relationships between all of them. So I'm just excited. It seems like a very cute, wholesome book, and nothing sad better happened. I am going to read.
Speaking of Independent Bookstore Day, that was last Saturday, and you got a few really good books. And it was just a fun day. So if you didn't participate this year, you totally should next year, because it's just fun to just go to the bookstores, and there's a lot of people there because everyone is doing the same thing as you, and just feeling community. And I always love looking around at the bookstores because you just find books that you never would by searching online. I think we both came out. I think I got 5 books.
Our arms were stacked.
We went to 3 different of our locally independent owned bookstores, and they're all great. So highly recommend putting that on your calendar whenever the date gets released for next year.
If you missed this year, you can just make your own little independent bookstore day with a friend and just hit all your local ones.
Yes.
As I've been looking at different places I'm hoping to travel to this summer, and I'm trying to plan our Airbnb around that, because we're trying to go to either Minnesota or Michigan. Where's got the cutest bookshops and coffee shops I've been looking into?
Yes. Those are always my favorite things to do on vacation, is find those local independent places.
Absolutely. So good.
What's going on in the book world?
Well, I already touched on The Remarkably Bright Creatures, but that is in less than a week. The movie comes out on Netflix.
I'm very excited for that.
Very excited.
Who's the main character on that one? I know it's Sally Fields. Is that actress? And she's very sweet. So I think she'll be great in it. I look forward to that.
So excited. It's going to be, like I said, I don't really like watching movies unless it's something I'm really looking forward to. This is one I've been looking forward to since we found out it was being adapted.
Awesome. I'm so excited
really
for you.
Enjoy.
And we'll be watching it together.
Yes, for sure. I think it comes out Friday. Friday is also Baby Named Day to release, so I can't watch it Friday, but maybe in the next few days.
We'll get it in. Yesteryear, we already touched on a little bit because you're going to start reading it today. But Yesteryear is topping the list of bestsellers and going viral online. And and like we said earlier, very extreme opinions either side. But I did want to note one thing that I saw the author say this week, which I thought was really interesting, is not only did she sell the rights to Anne Hathaway for adaptation to the big screen, but she also said that Anne Hathaway was involved with the writing of the book.
That's super interesting.
So I thought that that stuck out to me because I'm like, is that something we're doing now?
Yeah. In my head, I'm not an author. I've never written a book, but I feel like very protective. I'm like that. I feel I'd be honored because it's Anne Hathaway, but also let me do my thing.
I guess I didn't realize that was something that was happening, but I want to see Anne Hathaway's notes. What did she have to say?
I think she's so cool.
She is so cool.
She's like one of my favorite big time celebs. Everything she does, I feel like is cool.
Amazing. I don't know how I didn't include this on my Rose of the Week. The Devil Wears Prada 2. I saw it on Thursday night, a day early, just because the movie theater had the option. And you guys, you have to see it. If you haven't seen it, Morgan, you have to see it in the theater. The Devil Wears Prada is my favorite movie. It's my ultimate comfort movie. Anytime I put something on in the background, I need to feel better or whatever, it's always The Devil Wears Prada. And any sequel, you're always wondering, oh, is it going to live up to my expectations? It absolutely did.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. It was the same director. They did such a good job of continuing the overall essence of the first one. I love it so much. And I'm changing my rose. My rose is incredible. I had a really, between that, the opening weekend for the farmer's market, it was a good week, but I'm just tired. So, sorry. Tangent.
That's perfect.
Love Anne. I just thought that was really surprising. And so I'm interested to see if that's something that we hear about more. Those big names who are getting into producing, being involved with
the writing itself.
Yeah. So I can see it.
So one thing, when I was looking at all of the reviews and everything of Yesteryear, that I noticed people in my real life who were critical of it fall more on the line of being like crunchy, where the trad wife types themselves. I don't know if that's everywhere, but I have noticed that. Is that what you've seen? Because I'm curious if it's a pattern or...
I don't have that many crunchy people in my periphery, but I'm trying to think through what I've seen. I guess I don't know. But interesting.
I'm curious to see if that's like just a very small coincidence. It's just been a couple of people I've seen who've been very critical, kind of align that lifestyle a little bit more.
Maybe they feel a little attacked.
Do you follow Nara Smith or Ballerina Farm or anything?
I do not.
I don't either. I see their content a lot. I follow Ballerina Farm closely every time she gets pregnant, which is like every year for name purposes. I did not get her baby name prediction right this time. I did with the last one. I predicted Flora, but she named the newest one Greta. Wasn't on my radar.
I do like the name Greta.
Yeah, me too.
I don't follow them. I do see them on my feed. I think I blocked both of them. I'm a huge blocker. If I get annoyed, I just block. But I did at one point when I found out I was very late to the game when it came to Ballerina Farm. But once I found out who she was, I was very intrigued and I learned a lot about her. I think it was after the article, I think it was in the Times or the New York Times or something, came out about her, the one that was not a little flattering, and ended up kicking off a bunch of discourse about her and her relationship and their lifestyle and whatnot. But so I feel like I know a lot about her, but definitely not a follower.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting glimpse at how, I don't know, every now and then, I feel like once every few months, more so with Nara, I go down the scroll, but usually if she comes up on my feed, I just skip it. But sometimes I'm just in the mood where I'm like, what's going on here?
I get a very unnerving feeling when I come across her content because, well, I guess I don't know what the reason is, but
the voice for me.
Yes, the voice is it's spooky.
Sometimes when I'm in the kitchen, I like to narrate my voice. I'm chopping my onions. This tiny fine dice. And Garrett doesn't get the bit because he has no clue who Nara is, but he's a good sport.
I would love to know. I know that she doesn't speak like that.
She doesn't, because if you look at all her very old content, she just has like a cutie, normal girl voice. I think part of me, why I go down her rabbit hole every few months, is I think she's really smart. And I think she's like created this character and she's in on the joke.
Mhm.
I don't like the character, but I do think the real Nara is probably interesting and smart. And what we're seeing online is not who she is.
It's just her way she makes money. That is, now that we're talking about this, the character thing, the OG character that I remember, which I didn't watch her content, but I knew of her because she was so big, was Miranda Sings with the red lipstick. And it was so successful. So, of course, there are going to be people who use that tactic to do their own thing.
And I feel like it also, something I've been very aware of just in the past few months is being online. It feels all of a sudden feels very vulnerable. I've been online since I was 18 or 19, making content. All of a sudden, it feels like very uncomfortable to me. And I get like creating the character because it creates a separation. So I see appeal in there where you're like, you're not putting yourself online. You're putting a character that you play online. It's too late for me to do that. But I do see the appeal there where it's like nobody knows the real you because you're not showing that.
That's very interesting that you're now having that feeling of vulnerability. So what do you think is contributing to that?
There was a very specific well-meaning comment somebody left a few months ago that made me feel uncomfortable. I've never like shown or anything like about my nephew before. I've just talked about experiences with him. And then in one, I said, oh, my niece's name is on this list. And then somebody said, oh my God, Leo got a little sister. It's like, why do you know that that's my nephew and that, which my niece is not Leo's little sister. It's a different tangent of the family. But that just, I was like, people know so much. Like they pick things up that I'm not knowing. It's like that comment was obviously so well-meaning and so kind. It was just somebody who's followed me. But I was like, how much have I like breadcrumbed that I don't even realize is out there that people are holding on to and knowing about me?
And building a knowledge base of you.
So it just freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, that is freaky.
Yeah, it's just such a little thing. But it like created this domino effect of feeling weird about. So I've really been stepping back from creating content on TikTok.
Just being careful about what personal stranger danger.
Stranger danger. I forgot that was lesson for the last decade.
As we're recording a podcast.
This feels safer to me. It's like cozier. And like TikTok, the algorithms, I don't know. It's just wild.
Speaking of strangers, we both listened to Strangers by Belle Burden, which is a very popular memoir that came out recently about a divorce, a very sudden divorce, and a woman's experience of that being very caught off guard and the fallout. I recommend probably any woman listen to it. I think it's really important to, I guess, hear someone's perspective of thinking they know someone fully and having given up all of the safeguards for her own being, especially when it comes to money, I would say. But did you enjoy? Would you recommend?
I enjoyed. I do recommend. I feel like if you already have any man-hater blood running through your veins, it's going to amplify that. Just did for me. I am a certified man-hater, except for my husband and a few select men. Your husband's safe.
Man-hater over here as well. And I have seen some commentary on it, critiquing it, and like people saying that it's this rich woman who, why are we listening to this woman who's like set for life forever? Yeah. And I get that, but don't let that stop you from listening to it, because I just think that, wow, yes, she's going to be fine. There are so many people who go through very similar things and they will not be.
Like financially, she's going to be fine, but it's like people ignore the emotional internal turmoil that causes. I don't like when people just like discount other people's perspectives because it doesn't align with their lived reality. Yeah. I feel like it's more interesting to hear about how people of all walks of life deal with horrible things or great things. Some people only want to hear people who are just like them, and I don't like that.
Agree, 100%. And I think that the entire point of taking in written work is to pull things from it. You don't have to align with the work you're reading.
Exactly. Just like taking a walk in somebody else's shoes, gaining new perspectives. I think it's more interesting to read from people who aren't in my shoes. And it was really well written, and she seemed very smart and intelligent.
And the audiobook, which we both did, she narrates it, and I think that gives that soul, I think, as well. So I highly recommend the audio if you're into that. And then there was a new release that I keep seeing on TikTok, and it's very cute. I am a little bit nervous to read it because it's described as rescue pup owner Elizabeth Klee, the mind behind social media phenomenon Simon Sitz, tells stories of love, loss, and most importantly, the dogs who keep us company along the way. And the book itself is called Dogs, Boys, and Other Things I've Cried About. And I'm scared to read it because I feel like I am going to cry.
Or it says lost in there. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
How is lost in the same sentence as dogs? Does not compute.
Exactly. And I have a senior dog who's aging, who I'm very touchy about. So I have heard good things about this book. I would like to read this book. I love the cover of this book. I do not think it's the right time for me at this moment.
I can read it first. Just block out anything that doesn't
Thank
serve
you.
you.
Are you going to redact it for me?
Yeah. Perfect.
Any other trending items?
I think so. I think beyond yesteryear. And I actually, while we were prepping for this, I found that on the recent releases, and I was going to talk about it too. And then I saw you had it added in there.
Perfect. I love the illustration of that. It's very cute. I'm a sucker for a good cover.
Same.
So we do have a little trending story. Oprah's book club, OG book club from celebrities, was just sold off to Amazon. And the only reason I made note of this and just wanted to talk about it is I do think that, number one, it was the OG.
It's the OG.
I feel like the Oprah's book club little stamp, I've seen that growing up. I think it said that her book club is 30 years old.
So it was born when I was born.
Which I thought was really interesting. Yeah. I didn't think it had been around that long, but I, looking back, totally recall seeing that stamp on books back when I was a kid. And so she was pioneer the book curation by celebs. And obviously it's been a huge success. Aside from the fact that Amazon is acquiring it, which whatever.
That's
we don't even need to get into that. I did want to use it as a segue to talk about just celebrity book clubs in general. I just thought it was really interesting because they are right now as popular as they have ever been. And there are so many. And I think a lot of people's initial reaction to that is, what's the point of another celebrity book club? Which I'm not sure how you feel. I feel like, number one, I love anytime anybody is bringing books to everyday conversation. And I think that celebrities talking about it helps make that happen. But also, I think that I just love a curated list. So we're all really busy. I feel like sometimes I'm looking for everything to be easier for me. So I'm looking for a book. If I like, one celebrity book club that I like to follow is Dua Lipa's Service 95 book club, because she has really amazing picks and really well thought out picks. So I really enjoy her. So I love that curation aspect. The only thing that I think I like is negative about that is leaning on them too much to where you don't allow yourself to search for and find books that are specifically for you wherever you're at in that moment. Going to the bookshop and coming across a book, or being in a rabbit hole about a certain topic and finding a book that way. But overall, I love a curated book club. And so what are your thoughts?
I feel like we've talked about this in a past episode, and I'm trying to think about the context. But I like that it creates that shared cultural reference too. If we're all, not all, but if so many people are reading the same books because this influential person is recommending them, all of a sudden, like, all have this little thread that ties us together. And I just think that's so important and something to value, because there is so much value in like pulling books yourself and like finding what's going to resonate and being very independent about it. I think that's very cool. But also, if you've read the same book as the masses, now you've got that in common. And it's just one of those little things that can connect you to people. And I feel that's something I really crave. Adulthood, I feel like there aren't a ton of people I feel very connected to. Books are one way to create that larger connection. So if you find out like, oh, we follow the same book club, all of a sudden that's like a strong tie that keeps people united. So I think that's interesting.
I love it. And that's totally right. And I feel like there are so many people older women who were part of the Oprah book club. Oh, you read the Oprah book club picks? And instant.
I'm trying to remember if that was what my mom did, but I know when I was a kid, she would get a pamphlet in the mail, circle things, mail it back, and get books mailed. I don't know if it was Oprah. I don't know what program she did. I'll have to ask her. But
maybe it was Book of the Month, because they've been around for a century now.
Yeah, I should ask her. But I do remember that. It was she would sit at the table and like look at all the synopses and circle her choices, put the money in the envelope. And however, I could seem so inefficient now. compared to
Love
like,
it.
what I know.
Now we just have an app where we pick it. But
Yeah, it's so quick.
I do think that there are instances where people are getting suspicious of the book clubs because, for example, there's been a lot of discourse about Reese Witherspoon's book club. And she was one of the earlier ones as well, like in the new age, who created a book club. But she obviously had a publishing house, which I think she's since sold. But she would buy the rights of the book. It would be part of the deal for it to be selected. So every single book that she picked, it was a deal for her. It's kind of a funnel into her other company.
It's like
so
smart business move, but maybe not the most honest.
Or not a book she would pick otherwise. It was just so for ulterior motives, which because people have, and I'm not a follower of Reese's picks. I have read some of them that happen to cross over, but I don't necessarily follow her month by month. But people have said that the quality of the picks and whatnot have altered since that became a business model.
When did that happen? Do you know?
When was it acquired? Or
when did she start like that process?
It's been a bit because she built up the book club, and then I believe I'm maybe not getting this timeline right, but from my memory, she built up the book club, then had the publishing house for movies and such, producing whatever, and then it was very successful, and then she ended up selling off. I believe she sold off maybe for sure the publishing house / producing it, but maybe the book club too. I can't remember if I was following someone and feel like they were only choosing things for money. I don't know.
Self-serving purposes.
It's no longer like a book. What is that then?
Yeah, it seems like very inauthentic. The book club feels like it needs to be like cozy and intimate. We're all in it for the love of reading. I do think a lot of times when celebrities dip their toes in different things, it's because it's a financial grift. But I'm not saying that about Reese, but just like in general, there's like a lot of skepticism towards.
So how do you differentiate a celebrity who's having a book club for reasons like bringing people together, sharing their interest in reading, versus someone who's just looking for a money grab?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, sometimes I feel like you can tell if somebody's a reader, which I don't follow too many celebrities too closely where I'm like, oh, she's a reader, she's not. But I feel like if you are somebody in like that pop culture space and somebody who's definitely not a reader releases a book club, then it's like kind of an eyebrow raise. Let's see how this goes.
But then I'm like, but if 10 of their fans start reading, that's great.
Yeah. So it's happy for the fans, for the greater good. But is it a grift or is it genuine on their part?
Yeah. A lot of nuances. But then I was thinking about how that relates to us and the fact that we started a book club. I think there were multiple reasons why we started a book club. We both just love to be creative. That's how we met as friends and how we connect a lot, I feel like. But ultimately, we just like to read. We like to be creative. And we were already sitting down to talk about books.
And I feel like what was always happening is like, oh, have you read this? And you're like, no, but have you read this? And I'm like, no. So we could talk about the books we were reading.
Now we have so much crossover in what we read. And
it is amazing. And over the past 2 years now, we've been doing our little book club. They're having all these times where I'm like, oh, it reminds me of like rest and relaxation. I was going to say that same thing. We've got like, that shared, just an extra layer of references, which are fun to pull from.
100%. So interesting. Happy to be part of the curated book club. And I feel like overall, the main reason I feel like we do it is just for fun and for us. And I feel like we've gained so much, but it's just been a joy, I feel like.
I agree. So, yeah, we started as a very exclusive book club, the 2-woman book club, and no one else was invited until we started the podcast.
Everyone's invited.
Now everyone's invited.
And we really enjoy it. So thank you for tuning in. Morgan put together a little dopamine playlist.
Yes, we did our dopamine menu last week's episode.
Well,
2 weeks ago. And so since I was searching that up on Pinterest, now all of a sudden Pinterest is talking to me about dopamine playlists. So I've been really going through old classics, but the songs I listened to when I was little, I'm like, which songs are bringing me joy? So far, a few that are no skips for me are Check on It, Ain't No Other Man, Where Is My Husband? That's a new one. Say My Name. And one that I didn't have here that I'm trying to remember now is the Jessica Simpson. It's like an old one. It came out in maybe 2002. Like,
Jessica Simpson.
I'm not going to sing anymore, but what's that? Oh, With You. That's one I loved when I was a little girl. So that's another one I added to it. I've got some that I'm like, oh, I'm skipping these. I have to delete them. But that's a work in progress. So next time we do our Overdue for a chat. I'll have some updated songs on that.
You know what you should do? You should create a playlist on Spotify so you can share the link.
I can do that.
That'll be good. One thing about me is I'm not good about creating my own playlists, but what I do love to do is search. Walking outside at the farmer's market. Well, I feel like extremely specific.
Yeah.
There's always a result.
Yes. There are people, they're basically professional playlist curators. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that you could get paid for that, but I am fully supportive.
Small artists will pay people to put their songs on their very popular playlists. So when I lived in New York, I was friends with a few different musicians and they were telling me about this. It's not expensive. It's like $15. They'll have your song on their playlist for a month and their playlist gets like listeners or whatever. And
whoa.
But they have 400 people every month paying them that $15 for that one specific playlist.
It's literally like an ad buy in a newspaper, but music.
Yeah. So I have like my friend like, okay, like with these playlists should I like reach out to? And I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. But
I am shocked, but also not.
Yeah. So
I love a very specific playlist made by the people of Spotify. So I appreciate you and thank you.
They're the best.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to those.
Yeah, I'll make a new playlist. I can call it like the Facts and Fictions dopamine. And then you can make them collaborative, right?
Yeah.
So if you have any songs that bring you some
I do. I will add.
In. One thing I'm really looking forward to on my birthday is Olivia Rodrigo's new album's coming out.
Love.
And I really enjoyed her single.
Me too.
It's so catchy.
It's
like the
very
first time I heard it, it got stuck in my head. I'm like, how do I know these words? Like, where did they come from? But I knew them.
I'm excited for her.
Me too.
I feel like it's going to be really good. She did double duty on SNL last night. She was the host and the performer. And so I didn't watch, but I need to watch that today.
Yeah. I think she's like finally coming the age too, where she feels more relatable. Because for a while, like when she was like still girly pop, there's like just like more angst than I felt in my like day-to-day life. And I'm like, she's now in, how old is she? Like 23? Like,
gosh,
she doesn't feel like a teenager.
Yeah.
She's so young.
Yeah, they're still so young.
It doesn't feel like a teenage artist anymore.
Yes.
Which I'm excited about because I've always enjoyed her music, but I feel like now she's more like adult music, which I'm so excited.
I saw her last year at Lollapalooza and she was amazing.
She's so talented.
She is so talented. Like her show was really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like I listened to her casually prior to, she's had quite a few really good hits. But seeing her live, did a deep dive into her. She only has 2 albums out, but made sure I went through and listened to both of them in full, and she's very talented.
Do you think her and Sabrina Carpenter, like there was just like publicity or fake or anything? Because I really want them to do things together.
It's totally over.
It's over. They're good.
I'm sure like they recently said that they're friends and like it's
That's
fine.
True.
But I don't think it was, and I could be naive, but I don't think it was fake in the way like it was for publicity. But I think that they totally like used it. To.
Yeah, I love both, and I would love to see them like collaborate something. And I know like they had beef however many years ago. And that's actually how Sabrina got into my radar. It's through their
beef. Me
so
too.
It worked out for her. But,
I remember.
Yeah.
That like even I don't feel like they were beefing with each other. I feel like they were beefing like at the boy.
I feel like some of their lyrics were like a little like
cutting. Yeah.
All the names of the songs was Sabrina's like response song. I thought was brilliant. Yeah.
It was so good. I loved following the beef.
I know. And I'm always hoping it's fake, just for everyone's sake.
I will confirm for you. I have seen they have said there's no beef.
It. Okay, good.
So
hopefully collaboration in like 2027.
Or maybe she's on the new album.
Maybe. Oh, that would be cool.
You never know. To be determined. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Are overdue for a chat. Again, these episodes are kind of just to be able to talk about things that maybe like book related that don't really fit into our deep dive book episodes or our short form like article episodes. Because there's just little things like adaptation news and that we don't have time to catch up on, but people find interesting. So
to chit chat about.
Yeah. We're recording Half His Age episode on that after this, and that will be coming out soon. So if you haven't read and want to be a part of that, you have a week. And I know Morgan's very excited about it. So stay tuned for the full commentary. And
thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to Facts and Fictions. We really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you're new here, let us tell you a little bit about what we do. We publish new episodes every Sunday, and we've got 3 kinds of episodes to keep things interesting. First up, we have our book discussions, where we do a deep dive into one specific book. So if you really love digging into a read, those are for you. Then there are our brief encounters, where we tackle short form writing. Think magazine articles, Substack essays, things like that. Usually centered around a theme or topic we've been thinking about. Finally, we've got Overdue for a Chat. These are our most laid-back episodes. No reading required, we just hang out and talk about all things books. New releases, book-to-movie adaptation news, what's on our TBR, all of it. So whatever kind of reader you are, there's something here for you. Make sure you hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss a thing. We will see you next Sunday. Until then, happy reading.